buddies? It's your girl, AyChristene, and today we are checking out my funniest fan interactions by JaidenAnimations. Links down below to become a patron to get the uncut reaction to all the shows and anime we check out, just like Bernardo de Castro, Kiba Wolf, Leonisha Thomas, Green Vampire Gamer, and JJ. Links down below, like I said. Now let's get started.
Arcade and saw someone with an Ari bag, so
I went up to them
and said, "Hey, I really like your bag." She turned around, looked straight at me, and said, "Thanks, it's from JaidenAnimations." Oh,
that's
cool.
That's
and
hilarious.
Walked away because I didn't know how to salvage that interaction without being weird about it. As right. Somehow amassed
be like, yeah, no, that's me.
On YouTube website, you'd probably expect me to be recognized fairly frequently when I'm out on the town. I do definitely get recognized here and there, but
I feel like I might recognize her.
All of the content I've posted is me in cartoon form. It's much less than you'd think. I don't really expect to be recognized unless I'm going somewhere that attracts people who are more online, such as conventions or
like cons,
Miku concerts. Of course,
hilarious.
I've been in plenty of IRL content on other people's channels, so it's not like no one knows what I look like. But that barrier has given
and she streamed before too.
On how often people will notice that JaidenAnimations is in their vicinity. The majority of my fan interactions are very positive and
that's good. That's good.
Are you JaidenAnimations? Yeah. Oh, that's so cool. I love your videos. Can I get a photo? Yeah. All right, thanks. Bye.
Aww.
It's simple. It's streamlined.
It's good.
Everyone's happy. Of course, not every interaction goes like this.
Right, except like that moment where that person tried to scam your father.
Outliers, the bad interactions, the weird ones. Any freaks out there that you've met, Jaiden? I'm lucky enough to be able to say, you guys are pretty normal.
That's good.
Not really any single experience that comes to mind when people ask me that. So thank you. Gold star to every single person I've met in my entire career so far. However, I do have some funny stories I've collected. Like one time, Jacob and I were sitting down at the Toadstool Cafe to film for their video about Nintendo Land when this one guy walked by and recognized Jacob. Oh my gosh. Are you Alpha Red? Yeah. Oh, that's so cool. I love your videos. Can I get a photo? Yeah, you know, everything's going as per the script. At this point, I piped up and asked, "Would you like me to take the photo for you?" And as I said that, Jacob and I both saw that the guy suddenly recognized my voice. And
really?
Me. Now knowing there were two YouTubers at that table, he started to ask if I was Jaiden, but mid-sentence realized that if he was incorrect, it would look a little tiny racist. You know, you can't Asian girl with alpha is Jaiden. You know, 90% of the time you'd be correct.
Hilarious.
So we ended up pivoting halfway through to cover for the mistake, which ended up like this. Would you like me to take the photo for you? Correct me if I'm wrong. But who are you? Of course, we knew what he meant. Right. Everything is fine. We all take a photo together. But being able to see the line his brain took in real time was so funny. It's one of my
bet he was like, he was probably
so well. Like, I completely understand what happened. Asking,
he was like, man, I don't want.
Who are you? To someone offering to take a photo is just. I would love to meet that guy again and just tell him how much we loved that interaction. Dude, if you're out there, I hope your Toadstool Cafe food was good. Because ours wasn't. There actually have been times, though, where people have thought they've run into me and were just wrong. I've seen tweets
really?
Like, OMG, just met JaidenAnimations. As I'm currently sitting at home looking at a photo.
That's not you.
When we were on tour for Scribble
That's hilarious.
Back in Chicago, James and Emily went to go look at the bean, and James ended up getting recognized. While he was talking to the group of people, one of them saw Emily and went, "Oh my gosh, it's Jaiden." James immediately starts laughing.
Of course he would. Of course he would.
Clear enough because when they were all taking a photo, they were like, "Jaiden, get in front." Another time, when Jacob and Joe posted a video of themselves playing Mario Wonder in a GameStop. At the very end, Joe turned the camera around to the girl filming and said, "Are you JaidenAnimations?" The bit being it was our friend Sarah Moon, who is not but has been called Jaiden by confused viewers in the past for really no reason, but still, hundreds of people in the comment section of the video still thought she was me.
Oh, wow. I thought it was going to be a lot of people that were going to be like, no, that's not her.
A while later, they asked me to record them playing Mario Kart in a round 1, and in it said, huge shout out to Sarah Moon for recording this video.
Oh, they're messed up.
To me.
They're messed up.
People would catch on to the joke.
They're messed up.
More people were like, okay, I thought that was Jaiden in the other video, but was afraid of being racist. Not realizing they're still not getting it. Sarah and I genuinely look nothing alike, but just pointing at one of us and going, Jaiden, will convince hordes of people in comment sections.
I gotta see this video. I gotta see this video.
Inescapable Jaiden spell. On the opposite side of the coin, I was in San Diego for TwitchCon last year, perusing the San Diego Zoo with some friends.
Okay.
To hype it up a bit, the San Diego Zoo is awesome.
I want to go
3 times during the 3-day event.
Wait, really?
To the math nerds out there means I went to the zoo more times than the actual convention. Anyway,
wow, hilarious.
Ended up coming up to me with an excuse me that I registered as I was being recognized. So I turned around expecting the typical fan interaction. Sorry to interrupt, but are you Amaru? I was stun locked. It threw out my whole script and I accidentally blurted out, oh, no, I'm not. I'm sorry. I'm just Asian. And the guy didn't really have anything to say about that.
I'm just Asian is crazy.
Okay, thanks. You know, it was a nice little dose of humble for me. I got a kick out of Emily and Sarah being called Jaiden, and now I've been struck by the Amaru hammer. Look,
that's funny.
I'll be the one to say it though. None of us look like each other. We're just
I gotta look up
on the internet.
hilarious.
Not even the same kind.
Type of
If you ever think you see your favorite Asian creator in the wild, make sure
that you know who it is.
Sometimes
right.
I can tell people are secretly Googling me before asking for a photo just to be sure. And you know, if that's what it takes, that's what it takes. I didn't mean to go off on this whole tangent about people accidentally being racist. I'm sorry.
No, that's funny.
A lot of instances of it. We can get back on track now.
That's funny.
The first time I was recognized, not in like a convention setting, was in a random Target. I was walking down an aisle chatting with my friend Kelsey when someone passed by, backtracked, and came up asking, "Are you Jaiden?" Now, this is back in 2017 when I had significantly less content showing my face. So I was completely shocked and not prepared. I was in ugly house clothes, no makeup, hair wasn't washed, literally bridge dweller.
Not a bridge dweller.
Fan interaction. Apparently they recognized me from my voice.
They probably heard your voice as you were talking.
I sound exactly like how I do in my videos, and others say I don't, so I have no barometer on what I actually sound
I want to hear her.
Super sweet. This isn't like a crazy story or anything, but it's special in my mind because I was so embarrassed and unprepared for it, mentally and
I remember meeting fans for the first time.
Captain Kidd and I were in Hawaii for Pokemon Worlds. We'd all just arrived at the event and were checking out all the fun decorations Pokemon set up. Since all of us have made a good amount of Pokemon content, a lot of Pokemon fans were recognizing us and asking to take photos.
That's cool.
A well-intentioned mom ended up taking notice of how much attention we were getting and asked us what we did for a living for all of these people to be coming up to us. Jacob explained we were YouTubers and she lit up, saying her son watches a lot of YouTube, pointing down at the young boy hiding behind her leg. In an attempt to connect with the kid a bit, Jacob asked what YouTubers he watched. I like Mr. Beast. Seeing a way to make the kid excited, Jacob pointed at me and said, "No way! Did you know she was in a Mr. Beast video recently?" And
look at her looking around.
The kid jumped up. You know Mr. Beast? Well, kinda. I've talked to him before, but will you tell him to give me $1 million?
Oh, wow.
First of all, hilarious situation to suddenly be thrust into. Second of all, now that the kid is
so excited,
not hiding behind his mom's leg anymore, you can see he had a giant gold chain around his neck.
Really?
Sporting a framed PSA graded base set first edition Charizard. Little dude, do you know how much cash you've got around your neck right now?
Is that
was graded like
how much is it?
5 as well. I have no idea where he got it from. Like, you always
wait, really?
Can you give me
is
a
it like
$1 comments on Mr. Beast stuff? But it was surreal to witness it in real life. Like, it's real. Gold
how much is the
Mr. Beast
how much is the card for?
And he didn't even know who we were. Also, for the record, after I won the Mr. Beast cube, my emails were an absolute wreck of random people begging me for money.
Wait, really?
May please get some money? Hi, JD. Not my name. Just 10K. Thank you. Heart. Someone straight up sent me a PayPal invoice for $10,000 with no message attached. Just an outstretched, grubby little hand in my inbox. Guys, I didn't win any money from that thing. You can stop emailing me. We gave it all away to various artists all over the globe to support them through their art school, which was an incredible opportunity, and I was very happy to support artists.
Yeah, that's really cool. That's really cool.
But stop emailing me for money.
Hilarious.
I don't even
a
PayPal.
Know
what Mr. Beast's DMs look like.
A PayPal
died on me.
invoice is crazy.
So I had to take it to a repair shop. This was unfortunately.
Why'd you say not my fault?
When my
I didn't think it was.
Was smashed. My fault. So I also had no street legal car to take me back home while I waited for my phone to be fixed. Needing to kill 2 hours, I ended up sitting in a nearby Burger King equipped with my Switch to play Hello Kitty Island Adventure and an iPad as a second monitor to watch YouTube videos. I almost made it the entire time with no issue, but like some sort of pathetic Scooby-Doo villain, my plan was foiled as a nice girl.
Not a bad Scooby-Doo villain.
Before walking back over to sit with her friends. Now, the interaction itself was completely fine. I'm just embarrassed at what it looked like on her end.
Right. I've done that. I've felt like that.
Completely alone at a single seat table in a random Burger King. No food in sight, just a table covered in devices like some sort of 27-year-old iPad kid.
Hilarious.
Let me explain my situation.
She probably didn't care. So here's the thing. She was probably nervous. She was probably nervous.
Or even still a fan. It wasn't as pathetic as it looked. It was pathetic, but it's not that bad. I'm passing the time. Please resubscribe. I feel like I lost you that day. Speaking of unfollowing out of shame, a couple of years ago, I went with some friends to my first furry convention. The furry convention isn't the shameful part, though. That itself was great. The actual shame began when my group wanted to check out the 18+ section, mainly out of curiosity and entertainment.
You saw the chain.
And just as I was thinking to myself, man, it would sure be unfortunate if I got recognized while in here. Oh my god. Are you JaidenAnimations? Yeah. So admittedly, there's a single photo out there of me, a fan, and a very colorful background. Moving on from that one, this story is by far the most I've ever been recognized out in public in my entire life. There's probably a teeny little slight possibility I curated it myself by accident. But it was when I went to a Hatsune Miku concert in California. The community
because she really loves
her, and said community was all right there in one spot. Before the concert, I was getting recognized like every few minutes, which is very not normal for me, but you know, completely fine. I don't mind at all. Eventually, everyone was led into the venue. I was meeting a few more people inside. Then the lights went down, and we all got to enjoy the concert as per usual. However, when the show was over and the lights turned back on, everyone rotated 180 degrees to head to the exit, which meant people could see my face again.
That's true. That's true.
Forward, get stopped, then 3 more people would come up, and I'd suddenly be against the wall, all while my poor friends just had to watch it all happen and wait for me. For the first time ever, I needed to figure out a way to get out of there.
Yeah, you had to.
I would have been taking photos with the
forever
concert audience
forever.
As my friends withered on the floor. Sarah put her big hoodie on me. Another friend gave me their sunglasses, and suddenly, I vanished. No more animations. Poof. She was gone.
Disappeared.
The Clark Kent strategy actually works.
It
Sarah
does.
and I quickly headed to the exit, squishing past unsuspecting Miku fans. And it wasn't until we made it all the way to the parking lot where we turned around and realized...
What?
we were alone. I was successfully smuggled out, but the downside was the disguise was so overly effective. Even
your friends
didn't know who I was anymore.
Oh,
At
no.
least now I know if I'm ever in a sticky situation, a simple hoodie and glasses is really
all you need.
I will no longer be making fun of Superman's public disguise.
Hilarious.
Dude knew what he was talking about. Despite
sorry
all
to this
stories,
man.
If you ever see me in public, please don't be afraid to come up and say hi.
Aww.
I'm more than happy to meet you. Or
I would love to.
Again, basically every person I've met who watches my videos was absolutely wonderful. These stories included. And I promise I won't make a video about you if you accidentally say something a little awkward. Unless it was really funny and the world needs to know. Also, I can tell
hilarious.
when you recognize me, I've essentially got a spidey sense for
yes,
it by
we
now,
do know.
It's more uncomfortable for both of us if you just stare at me for 30 minutes and then leave.
Yes.
Just say hi or something.
Right,
it's okay.
right,
I'm lucky
right.
to have such a normal and kind group of people watching my content.
That's good.
And I do really enjoy getting to meet you guys. I guess if you were to take anything from this video,
which one is Jaiden is hilarious.
It's actually me. This is not me.
Right.
This is not me.
Okay.
This is not me.
Okay.
I'm this one.
Hope
that helps.
I just love the way that she was like, this is me. Hope that helps. One of the things that I had to come to terms with, and it's something that I think I feel like I was able to come to terms with after being medicated because prior my anxiety would not allow clear thinking. So when it comes to people coming, I would feel so, oh my gosh, I would be like full of anxiety and somewhat of an anxiety filled wreck, because I would be like, how was that interaction for them? Was that interaction good? And then the ones where they just come up and say, oh, I like your videos, and then walk away. And I'm like, oh, thank you. And then I would be like, well, I would have been okay if they wanted to take a picture, like as if I told them no, but I never told them no. They just wanted to say hey and they left, you know? But I realized that they're extremely nervous. A lot of the times they are all really nervous. They're coming up, being bold, being brave, overcoming that fear that they have to say hi, to say hello. And then after that, they're just as nervous as we are, you know? So I've given myself grace and just been like, hi, take my picture, do the thing. I used to be like, oh, I had a phase where I was like, oh, they probably think I'm lame because I put the 2 fingers up, or oh my goodness, I don't know if I smiled enough. If I let the smile down even for a second, are they going to think that I'm really not happy? Not me thinking clearly that, hello, your face does hurt. For anybody who has to smile for a lot of pictures, your face hurts by the end of it, okay? And so you'll have moments where you'll smile and then you'll be like, you'll let it fall. And it doesn't mean that you are like your true self is revealed. She's not a happy person. No, it's just you got to relax your face. That ish hurts. And you come to terms with it, she is definitely someone I still want to meet. She's on my list. I had an awkward interaction with James, but I don't think he knows it was an awkward situation. But yeah, I didn't get to. We had a awkward pass through. We didn't get to stand and talk to each other, and that does not haunt me as much as it used to, but it used to haunt me a lot. I'm like, you loser. That's what I would feel about myself. I wouldn't call myself a loser, but I did feel that, why didn't you clarify or, make it clear? But, I'll meet him again sometime, we'll meet again. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Has there been a time where you've been to a con or wherever and you've met a creator? What was it like? What was the interaction like for you? I think more times, a lot more people are extremely nervous versus having bad experiences with the creators that they meet. But I want to hear all the stories. Let me know down below. Links down below to become a patron to get the uncut reaction, all the shows and anime we check out. I love you guys as always. And until next time, buddies. Toodles.